JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 8th of October 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that I looked at yesterday just to see how everything's kind of getting along. But yep, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts. Now, the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. So, Nikkei is having a fantastic run here to the upside, or should I say, had a fantastic run this morning. It created a new high for October and managed to also overcome the highest point of September as well. So, yep, now the index kind of closed almost at 1% with a 1% gain. But the most important is it closed above this area right here, this 23,580 zone that I talked about. So in a way now it's kind of looking that it looks like that the this index is willing to push further north. Now the next target that I'm going to be aiming here for is going to be the 23,806 zone, marked by the high of the 20th of February, and then of course I'll take it from there. Excuse me. Because if it fails to, let's say, to overcome it, then yep, we could see maybe a bit of a correction here. But at the moment, everything's looking quite positive. So let's see if we can actually go ahead and reach this 23,806 zone, marked by the highest point of February the highest point of 20th of February, and yep, we'll take it from there after. If by any chance this index reverses back down and drops back below the 23,580 zone right here, then maybe this could raise a bit of concerns here in the bull block. However, to get probably a little bit more comfortable with further declines, probably we would like to see a drop below this area that I've mentioned to you previously in the beginning of this week. So this area around the 23,300 zone. So a nice good drop below it could also place the price below the 21-day EMA, shown as the yellow line here. So again, guys, keep your eyes on that one. Jumping into another index, and this one is a German index, the DAX. Yesterday the German index did push higher. Initially it was kind of trading here, and this is where what I was talking about to you guys, and what I was telling you guys yesterday, that first of all, yesterday it opened with a gap to the upside. That was good news, but then we saw the index kind of drifting back down, falling back below this 12,873 territory. But what I was saying, that wait for that confirmation close, because as you can see, it was a bit of a roller coaster here, and the index kind of traveled back above this 21-day EMA and back above this 12,873 zone. So in a way, kind of creating this opportunity for the bulls to step in and potentially drive this one higher. Now, to what I was mentioning to you guys previously as well, that keep your eyes on this potential kind of formation. Of course, we will aim for the upside, but just in case, keep your eyes on this potential kind of rising wedge pattern. However, again, it's a bit of a tricky one, because if it gets broken here, that's fine. We'll ignore this. We'll just mainly focus on this upside line taken from the low of the 25th of September. But yep, like I said, if this pushes higher, of course the psychological 13,000 territory comes into play here, and of course this upper side of the potential rising wedge here as well. So again, a lot to kind of consider. But if all this gets broken easily, then of course, yeah, like I said, we'll scrap this whole rising wedge idea, and we'll continue targeting further higher levels. So yeah, guys, at the moment, yes, everything's looking quite bullish. Looking at the cash index, we can see that the price is currently trading around 12,980 zone, so basically not far from that psychological 13,000 zone. So in a way, there is a good chance we could see a test of that area today. But let's be very careful, and let's go step by step on this one. Now, jumping into another index, quick update here on the dollar index. And yesterday the index reversed back down, fell back below this 21-day EMA, but remained above this 93.37 territory that I talked about yesterday. That's the level that I'm keeping an eye on right now in order to kind of aim for some lower levels. If this area breaks, then yep, lower levels could be met. And also, what I was also saying to you guys, keep your eyes on this upside line on the RSI, because if we get a drop below this 93.37 zone, this might also bring the RSI below this upside line, and in a way kind of could indicate that the dollar is not really ready to move higher yet. So and then we could see this one pushing lower. In terms of the upside, now in case this somehow manages to reverse sharply to the upside and is able to break this downside line taken from the high of the 23rd of March, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for more buyers, and then the index here could travel further north. However, as I mentioned to you previously, that to be a little bit more on the safe side, I would prefer to wait for a push over this 94.65 zone and then aim for higher levels. Gold. Now, gold yesterday pushed higher a little bit, but yeah, at the moment it still is trading below both of these downside lines, mainly below this downside line taken from the high of the 7th of August, which, as you can see, acted as a very nice resistance zone, an area, and now to be honest, we'll keep this idea in mind of a potential move further south, but if by any chance this commodity is able to overcome this downside line taken from the high of the 7th of August, now this is where it could become quite interesting for more buyers, and this would also place the price above the 21-day EMA. So again, for now, we cannot really do much here. If you're looking for some lower levels, or should I say a trigger after which you could consider some further declines, then wait for a drop below this area right here, which continues to act as a good support. This 1877 zone, as you can see, it continues to provide a good hold up. Previously it was seen as a good resistance. Now it's taking the role of support. So if that level gets broken, then yes, further declines here could be possible. Now, jumping into WTI oil, and here, to be honest, not much is happening. Just wanted to give you a quick update. The commodity is still kind of trading here around these EMAs, and for me here, what I need to see here is, in order to aim for some higher levels, I would like to see a push above this high of the 18th of September near the 41.46 territory, and then I could consider maybe a bit of a move further north, because at the same time the price would be placed above all of its EMAs at that point, and yep, maybe more buyers could see this as a good opportunity to step in. In terms of the downside, a drop below the 38.74 zone here could do the trick for maybe a few more sellers. Now Bitcoin, again, quick update. Still we're stuck in this this pattern here. We're getting squeezed, as you can see, so that's why for now I'm waiting here until we get a clear breakout through one of these lines, either the downside lines here or this one upside support line, and then yep, could consider the next short-term directional move. Until then, we're just observing this one. AUD, so this is where the excitement comes in, and yesterday I've mentioned this, guys, to you, and what I was saying, that if we get a break above this downside line, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for the buyers. And yesterday we saw also a push above this 1.0851 territory that I kept talking about, and although we didn't really keep the daily candle didn't really stay above this area, it still kind of remained here, remained in between these two, in this area above this downside line, below this barrier. And today we're seeing that's a nice, good, strong push already to the upside. So good kind of activity is seen here. If this today's daily candle will stay above this barrier, then yes, of course, higher levels here could be met, and the next target for us is this 1.0936 zone. So let's keep an eye on that one, but for now everything's looking quite positive. In terms of the downside for this pair, we would need to see a drop back below this downside line, and maybe a drop below this 1.0771 territory, and at the same time, if we see such a move lower, then this would also place the rate below the 100-day EMA, and lower levels here could be met, and then our next target here could be the lowest point of September near the 1.0718. Quick update on USD CAD. Now this is what I talked about yesterday. Now what I was saying yesterday to you guys, that yes, we had a nice reversal here to the upside. We had a nice rebound from this upside line, and this is what I was covering in my traders tea time yesterday. And the pair was still above this upside line, but as I told you guys yesterday, that in order to get a little bit more comfortable with the upside idea, then yep, a push above this 1.3418 territory would be required. I know that this is a bit of a big area to miss out. However, look, this is exactly what I always mean, is that we got a bit of a reversal here to the downside, and then kind of pushing the whole upside scenario off the table for now. So now in terms of the downside, of course, the fact that we broke this upside line is if it's seen as a more of a bearish indication, but also I'll stick to the same game plan, that I would prefer to see a drop below this 1.3240 territory first before examining lower levels, because as you can see, this is where the current holdup is occurring. But if we get a nice good drop below this area, then yep, further declines here could be possible. So for now, keep your eyes on this level, keep your eyes on this area at 1.3240 zone, approximately around there. And then yes, if we get a nice drop below it, then further declines here could be possible. Gbp Jpy, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, to be honest, and as you can see, the pair is kind of back above all of its EMAs here on the daily chart, so it's still trading below this upside line, but to be honest, this upside line is no longer probably valid, and let me just get rid of it. Some of you might see here a possible kind of inverted head and shoulders pattern, with the neckline being somewhere around here, or actually even let me just correct this a little bit, probably somewhere around here. And you can see that yes, the neckline kind of got broken, and this kind of suggesting that there could be a possible move higher. There is, yes, there from the short-term perspective, we can see that the pair is trading above this upside support line taken from the low, the 23rd of September. So in a way, kind of this suggests that there could be more upside to come. However, just to be on a safe side, guys, wait for a push above this high, above the current highest point of October, near the 137.45 territory, a nice good pop above it. Yep, would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and the next target then could be this right here near the 138.35 zone, or we could even push it further north. But let's go step by step on this one, and let's see if this pair can actually overcome this 137.45 territory. In terms of the downside, preferably maybe drop, of course, break of this upside line, that's what's needed, but also maybe drop below this 135.81 territory may do the trick for more sellers, and could see further declines towards the low of the 2nd of October, or in other words, the current lowest point of October near the 135.06 territory, or even lower. But again, for now, it's leaning a little bit more to the upside, given that it's still trading above this upside line and above all of its EMAs. But to be on the safe side, we need that confirmation break above this barrier, above this 137.45 level first. Now, jumping into euro against the Turkish lira, and this is what I kept talking about in the beginning of this week, guys, and basically look at this beautiful move. So last week we created well, last week it was the pair formed a new high, but today, or sorry, yesterday, the pair formed another all-time high, and actually today it did that, and it did form even a new higher high, all-time higher, basically all-time high for this pair. And look at this just crazy move here on the euro against the Turkish lira, and at the moment it seems that there's no stopping for this one. It just continues to push north, and what I was saying to you guys, that if you want to aim for some higher levels, wait for a pop above this high, above this 9.2151 territory, and then you could aim for some further move north. As you can see, this is exactly what happened. We had a nice pop here yesterday, and now let's see where this where will this pair find resistance. So far it's a short seller's nightmare, this pair is. So hopefully, guys, you're very careful here, because for example, as I mentioned to you previously, that in order to aim for some downside, well, maybe a drop below this psychological 9 territory could do the trick for more sellers, because at the same time this would also place the rate below the 21-day EMA. So at this point in time, that's the level I'm keeping an eye on. But of course, depending on how far this will move higher, maybe actually we could start looking at this 9.2151 zone as a potential breakout point for the downside. But again, at the moment, I'm just going from what I'm seeing here on the chart right now. So at the moment, the downside could come on a break below this psychological 9 zone. Euro GBP. So this is what I've mentioned yesterday to you guys, and I hope you are careful, because what I've mentioned to you yesterday was that, yes, on one hand, we had a nice falling wedge pattern, which tends to be a bullish kind of pattern, but yesterday, when we broke above this upper side of the wedge, what I was saying that in my trader's tea time yesterday, what I was saying, that if the pair, if this daily candle will remain above this upper side, then yes, there is a good chance for this one to push further north, especially if also the pair pushes above this 0.9157 territory. You can see that yesterday we had a brief overshoot above this, but then it retraced back down, but still was trading above this upper side of the wedge. But as you can see, the bears kind of took control yesterday and drove this pair lower back below this downside line, below this upper side of the wedge, and now what we're going to do here is we're going to take a bit of a neutral stand, because on one hand, it drifted back inside this pattern. On the other hand, it still is struggling to move below this 21-day EMA shown as the yellow line. So that's why I'm going to be very careful. If we get a drop below this, then yes, maybe there is a possibility for this one to move back down. But if somehow the bulls pick up on this one again and raise this one higher, that's great news. That's wonderful. I mean, maybe this pattern will be working out eventually. However, now, given what I'm seeing here on the chart, chart, preferably a push above this 0.9157 territory would be that barrier, after a break of which I could aim for further higher levels. All this area right here would be a bit of a neutral one. So keep your eyes on the 21-day EMA today right now. If we see a drop below it, then yes, it could increase the chances of a further move lower. But also what you could do here is keep an eye on yesterday's low, or this little inside swing high of the 5th of October near the 0.9090 level. A drop below it may open the door towards lower areas here within this pattern. And finally, Euro USD. So here, still the same game plan remains as I was mentioning it on in my trader's tea time yesterday. I'm still keeping an eye on these two levels. That a break of one of these is required in order to maybe consider the next directional move, short-term directional move, of course, because again, if we get a pop above this 1.1797 zone, then, or let's say 1.18 territory, if we get a nice pop above it, then yes, we will aim for some higher levels, but we'll be very careful near this 1.1917 territory, which could provide temporary resistance. If the pair drops below this 1.1696 zone, that's where we could consider a bit of a decline here, maybe going towards this 1.1626 territory, or this 1.1570 zone, marked by the let me just go back into history here a little bit, marked by the highest point of January of 2019, guys. Or if I'm not mistaken, that's actually the highest point of 2019. Is that correct? Yep, that is correct. So the highest point of 2019 could be that target as well, but again, first, in order to consider a move lower here, we need to see a drop below this 1.1696 zone, and then we'll take it from there. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I really appreciate your time for joining in and watching this one till the end. If you want to catch my video later on, my trader's tea time is always that's 13:15 GMT time. For now, guys, stay safe, be very careful, have a wonderful trading day, and yep, always have your stop loss in place, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye bye.